Okay, so what we're going to do now is basically after receiving the contact form, we save it inside the Google Sheets, initiate the call, and also get the transcript. So let's go and see how it's done. So the work here is like this. We get the form, initiate the call. This is working fine. So I will quickly unpin this data so that we can initiate and test another phone call quickly. I already filled the form, so I'm not going to fill it again, so all the information is there. I'm going to initiate this call. I should receive a phone call now. There we go. I got the phone call. I'm going to have a quick conversation.
Hey, Email Sayer. I'm Samantha. Email's AI agent. Do you have a minute to talk?
Yeah, what is it about?
Great. I'm gathering some information to see if you might be a good fit for a project Email is working on. It will only take a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm
To start,
interested in the August session. Is there any discount I can get on the fees?
I understand you're interested in the August session and are wondering about potential discounts. To best assist you.
So I just discussed about something so that we can get some transcripts. But as I mentioned, we don't have like webhooks in ElevenLabs yet. And all we need is literally this conversation ID. Before I bring forward that HTTP request here in n8n, let's go and check it out inside this particular Postman configuration I have. If I execute it, you can see that here I have exactly the transcript that I'm looking for. I'm getting information. I spoke about the discount and so on. So here is the discount. Is there any discount I can get? So now what we do next is we can get here the entire curl and come over here, add a weight here as we mentioned in the last time. So the wait can be, let's say, for 5 minutes, because it can happen that in 5 minutes people are done with their talking. Um, it's not the best way, but it's what we got. Like, if you want to be more safe, then make this wait 10 minutes. And the wait time for this is not costing you for your cloud execution time, and it's also reliable. I have double checked that. So it's okay. For now, we can just keep it for 5 minutes. For the sake of this example, I'm going to keep it 5 seconds so that we can make the example run, and then we can check the actual, like in production, I'll keep it 5 minutes so that assuming within those 5 minutes, all the, what do you call it, the call and the conversation with Samantha is finished. But for now, it's just okay to keep it like that. All right, so after that, what we would like to do is do an HTTP request again to ElevenLabs. This time, we're going to bring forward a conversation ID. Which conversation ID? Let's get that from this one. So if I execute it, since it is already, the data is penned, it's not going to initiate a call. It will already have that. It waits for 5 seconds. In the real world, it's going to be 5 minutes once we do the active toggle. Now, this is always going to bring me the same transcript, but I don't want that. Therefore, I'm going to change it to expression and bring forward the initial, the conversation ID from right here, like this. Now, in this case, it is dynamic. Each time a new conversation comes, a new conversation ID is created, and then it's stored there. Now, the last step would be to store it in my Google Sheets. I'm going to append a row. I already have all the setup there. I'm going to pick email's second cohort. It's going to go to sheet 1. I'm going to map the columns manually. So let's go get everything from the contact form. And here, basically, the first would be the full name, phone number, LinkedIn URL, email address, remarks, submitted at. Now, what we want to add is the two more piece of information. One is basically the IDs, and the second one is this HTTP request. Maybe we can also rename it to get transcript. So from get transcript, we're going to add a few more columns. So it makes sense that we go to that Google Sheet and add those two columns. One is called conversation ID. What's the other piece of information we want to capture from the initial call? Call SID. This might be something that we might need. And then maybe the transcript object. We'll store the entire transcript object just so that we can be prepared for kind of like using it later on for whatever other purposes. Kind of like displaying it somewhere or processing it somehow. I'm going to click on refresh so that I can get the new columns that I've added, and it's just the rest of the mapping. I'm going to add conversation ID there, call SID here, and then the transcript is all sitting right here that I can literally drag and drop like this. The transcript object goes all of them in here, which is empty right now because of the execution. It didn't execute again. So if we execute it one more time, it's gonna get that particular transcript ID, and then it will execute the call for us. By the way, I forgot to freeze this one. It's giving me a phone call, so let's get engaged with this. So
Hey, Amal Sayer. I'm Samantha, Amal's AI agent. Do you have a minute to talk?
yes, what is it about?
Great. I'm gathering some information to see if you might be a good fit for a project Amal is working on. Could you tell me a bit about your current role and what you're working on these days?
I unfortunately filled out. I'm interested in August session, but to be honest, I won't be able to make it for the August session. Can you change me to the September session, please?
Okay, I understand. So you're currently signed up for the August session, but would prefer to be moved to the September session instead.
Yes.
Just to confirm, is the...
Okay, so I just spoke that. I froze this one by pinning it so that we don't generate a new conversation ID. And it was already executed once, so I'm going to execute it one more time. 5 seconds waiting, it goes on. This, I will change it once it goes to production to 5 minutes so that the thing happens. There's an error here. Let's find out what's exactly the error. Column to match on parameter is required, so it cannot match one of the parameters. So let's quickly double check that. So if I go here, you can see that no data was stored. Column to match on parameter is required because we're not appending. In this case, it is appending or updating. What we want to do is append a row. In this case of append or update, it needs to match to a column. So for example, a conversation ID or something. But in this case, we'll just keep it as simple as possible. We're going to just append it. Now, if I click on execute, it will work, and it will add the entire transcript in that Google Sheet, and then we can see it right here, all of them at once. So now, with this, we have literally completed the entire workflow from where we started right here. What happens is we fill a form. Right after filling the form, we get a call. The call basically asks us questions regarding the enriching the deal, and then it stores it inside this Google Sheet right now, but we'll change it to Supabase later on. And also the call is initiated through ElevenLabs. We don't have the didn't pick route done yet, which kind of like then switches the entire workflow to email communication, which we'll do at a certain point in time. And also we don't have like a concept in the workflow that would initiate an appointment booking, which will be definitely the next lectures. So for now, what we have in place is a contact form that works in production, In the next video, we'll do a full end-to-end test, for which I will do a detailed prompt for my upcoming n8n and vibe coding bootcamp, 1 month long bootcamp off the recording, so that I can play an entire call for a couple of minutes and give you a full demo of what is possible, and then we'll go to the next steps. Until then, see you then.